Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Vintage Story, Unearthed for 120. I do need to actually start setting up crops. The sooner you set up crops, the better off you'll be. And if you can set up crops in water that you know is fresh water, which it's difficult to tell in this case. I would need something in order to pick up the water to be able to tell if it is. But I do have lots of medium fertility soil nearby. And if you notice here, some red clay, so I can start making all sorts of cool stuff with this red clay. In this case, I'm going to make a shovel because it's just going to speed my progress. Shovels, the flint kind, don't last very long, but they still speed up your progress with digging up things like soil and clay. And I'm going to need at least a stack of clay in order to get myself started in some of the things that I'm going to want to make next. Alright, so I've got at least a stack of clay, and I am thinking I should be making some stuff here. This actually looks like a pretty decent spot that I can start using to place things in. I'm just going to start making it here, because why not? But let's see, I can make bowls. Usually making 4 is a really good way to start. And then over here, I don't want anything here. I do, because I'm going to turn these, I'm going to cook these up in pit kilns, and I'm actually going to do it right where they're at. I'm going to make a cooking pot, but I'm also going to need something more than just the cooking pot in order to get going. In order for progression to happen, I'm going to need a hammer mold. I'm going to need a pickaxe mold. A watering can isn't going to hurt at the early stages. I've got access to lots of clay right now. And then on top of that, getting myself some food storage items like a crock or a raw storage vessel is going to be useful. This is going to use up a lot of clay, but it's really going to be worth it in the end. So I'm probably going to want a lot more of this clay, but I have it right behind me, so I'm not too worried. Now, because I've got a grid up here, anytime that you see a grid type item, and sometimes when you don't, you can press the F key, and that is basically changing the modes. If you aren't sure, then for example, if I go into my settings, I can turn on block interaction help, which is Control N by default, and you can see here it says, when I'm not pressing Alt, it says right in this area, add clay, remove clay, select tool mode. Often if you have that turned on, you can see that. I'll leave that on for now, but I just wanted you to be aware that you can turn that on. And this is the amount of pixels that you will interact with as you do this. So you've got your 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, and you can duplicate the layer that you did before. To start with, duplicating the layer won't do anything. So I usually like to just kind of clear this out as such, then take this and start removing, oops, this extra stuff. There we go. And then I just fill this in, whoops, a little too much, with each one. 4 dots in the inside corner should do it. You can even overfill, and then you just left click to remove, and sometimes it makes it a bit simpler so you don't have to change modes on some of these things. There we go. I now have 4 raw bowls. Why they're not red, I don't know. The red clay thing has only just recently been implemented, so I think it's just a bit of a change that may happen in the future. We'll see. But for now, I'm making a raw hammer mold, which in this case, I'm still just going to fill it in. If I just hold the button down, the right click, I can fill in the entire space without a problem. Now if I want to, I can just copy paste and fill it in. I'm just holding right click and it's automatically doing this. It will automatically fill in everything on here. And I'm just going to switch modes and carve out the area that I want to keep. There we go, and then I just kind of carve out what I want to keep in there. There we are. And you can see that I now have a mold here as well. Now why that one didn't pop up, I couldn't tell you, but it's a thing. So in this case, I'm going to take out this extra edge. This is the raw cooking pot. This is going to be really key for getting us really well fed through most of the game. The cooking pot is going to be essential, I would say, for most people. And then you can see it's just a matter of doing this over and over again until it's all set. There we go, another cooking pot, and I'm just going to keep going until I get all these things made. It may take me a little bit of time and effort as well as materials, but I think you're getting the idea at this point. Now if you want to know how I'm holding this still, because if you're trying to do this, the whole screen will move around with you. If you hold Alt while you're doing it, remember that's the same way that you can move things around with just your mouse, and it will freeze the screen for you so that you can actually just work around with it. And I've run out of red clay, but not to worry, I know where to find some more. And there we go. All of those are now made. Problem is, I'm not going to have all the materials I need to cook all of these things up, but that's okay. I am placing these down. I'm putting down the the less important items, not unimportant, because it's all technically really important. But I'm putting the less important items down in different areas. Let's take this out. There we go. And I'm going to checkerboard this stuff so that I can actually fill it in as a pit kiln. Okay, there we go. So next thing I'm going to need is going to be a lot of grass, a lot of sticks, and a bit of peat and or firewood. Now I could use like charcoal or coal or something like that as well instead of the peat, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, it's going to be a lot of harvesting of materials to get the other things I need, which is going to be grass to start with. Alright, so to give you an example, I have 38 dry grass right now. If I sneak and right click, I'm going to place a bunch in here until I can't place any more. And that used up 10 of them. So I'm going to keep on doing that with some of the other stuff as well as I need to. Oh, it looks like I'm going to need to pick this up and put it back down again. There we go. I might even be able to mix this in with like some more raw bowls or multiple crocks or things like that, but for now I think it is fine as is. There we go. I've got a little bit left over. I'm just going to throw it over there for now, but that should do it. Each one of these is filled up with as much dry grass as possible. Yeah, some of them are going to stick out a little bit, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to need a lot of sticks, and I only have 7. And I think it's going to take at least 8 sticks per, so I'm going to need to do a lot of harvesting. In order to find that stuff best, I think finding something like a short tree will often work quite well. Now I left my axe over there. I am going to need firewood as well, so I'm just going to grab my axe first and then head over to this tree. Ooh, but I got to be careful. There's apparently a pit down here and it has some trapped animals down there, poor guy. But we're going to try and take down this tree, but we're going to do it hopefully from the top down. That's a cranberry bush. That's really good. That's another cranberry bush. I think I know where that, how that guy fell down there. He was coming over here to check out the cranberry bushes. But I'm going to start taking out the leaves on this tree. I really don't care about the non-branchy leaves, but the idea is to get as many sticks as possible. And using an axe is an early game way of actually processing it quite quickly, because if you do it by hand, it's rather slow. But it is durability intensive. So make sure that you have enough to be able to do this. If you don't, then you can just use your hands. It's just going to take a bit longer. Now, here's another thing worth noting, is that you can see on here there's a whole bunch of moss, and I've got all these sticks that have fallen down now that I've kind of stripped the tree. But you see that there's also wild vines. Starting at the bottom, it's best to harvest these and to keep them, because then you can use them to make things like rope later, which usually can be made using like cattails and such, but I find that just having those around, if not for decoration, can be useful. Now, if I start at the top and work my way down, it'll still work, but I think if I just chop this one, I will just get all of the wood that's here. And you can see from stripping that tree, I got 28 sticks just by harvesting off the leaves on that. If I were to have chopped the tree down, I probably would have gotten a very small fraction of the same amount. But it does require, like I said, a bunch of durability of whatever tool you're using if you're going for the faster method. Now there is better tools for this, namely a pair of shears would end up clearing a 3x3 area based on the block that you're aiming at of any kind of shrubbery type items like these, and you can get mass amounts of sticks rather quickly. I do recommend though starting somewhat at the bottom when you're just harvesting the leaves, because then any of them that fall, if you run out of time, space, or reach, has already fallen at that point. If you start at the top, stuff will sometimes just fall down out of reach, unless you're all the way at the very, very top of the tree itself, in which case, well, then you have access to just about everything. Now, something else I could be doing instead of using up the sticks that I'm trying to gather is by grabbing some of those bones and using those instead for axe handles, which would be really useful because it would also last longer. But as I'm really lazy and I don't want to walk back over there, I'm just using the sticks that I'm getting from the tree itself. Alright, so let's take these sticks that I have and start laying these out. Sneak, right click with the sticks. Actually, I'm going to take this shield off because I'm just making myself more hungry. And you can see it adds 2 layers of sticks to each of these. And there we go. I can combine those. I have 29 sticks left over. Not too bad. And I could use firewood, but I think I want to save that for actually cooking. And instead, I swear I saw some peat not far away. Yeah, there's some right here. Look at this. And this will be faster than firewood as well. You can't always find peat. Yeah, I'm very fortunate with this. This is why I picked the seed. I kind of liked it. It had some really good resources nearby to the spawn area, and I didn't really want to have to travel far to start with, because I know we're going to be traveling very far later on. So I'm just going to dig a bunch of this peat out and use it for fuel as well as for setting up this pit kiln that we're going to have going on. Alright, there we have a whole bunch. If I have any left over, it's no big deal because I can use that as a replacement in a fire pit that's already created. So in this case, I can place it down. It takes 4 to get that set up. Alternately, I could also do that with firewood, and it would be 4 logs, but it will take more time. And I want this stuff as soon as possible. Now, here's the problem with this one here. It's going to take more than what you saw. You keep going until it says you can't add more. I'm right-clicking, nothing happens. This one here, it is happening. And be aware that anything in the area that is flammable, when we light this, is likely going to continue lighting things on fire that's nearby. So you could always use like packed earth or something like that. Which is usually just 6 of any dirt blocks will make packed dirt. You can use that and grass won't grow on it. Alternately, you can just clear the area out and not worry about it. I'm just using my hands right now to get rid of the grass. And I'm not really too worried about fire spreading in this area. I can always reinforce this with better materials later. I don't really see much for grass tufts that are too close now, so I'm not too bothered. And I think I can start lighting this stuff on fire. Got my torches. And all I got to do is sneak right click and hold it, and it will ignite as it says there on the menu. Now the problem here that I have is that if it starts raining, this stuff is going to go out. So these pit kilns are going to need protection. But if I just, ow, and don't stand on them by the way, and if I put a block just instantly on top of this, it will go, it'll go out. It'll put the pit kiln underneath out, and you don't want to do that. Obviously you need it to cook, so you're going to need to leave some space. In this case I don't have any of the right materials, so let me grab some of this dirt and I can start putting this above it, just making like a bit of a shelf to keep this stuff from going out if it starts raining overnight or something like that. So there we go. I've got 14 of these. I'm going to start from here and hopefully have enough that I can do this. Let's go out to here. Ow. That's hot stuff. Very hot. Do this. And create a bit of protection. There we go. That should be enough. I don't think I need to worry about it any more than that. I mean, there we go. I'll put that down for now. That should do it. We've got ourselves a bunch of pit kiln stuff working, and it'll be going for a while. If you want to know what's in it, you can look at it, and we've got the little tooltip at the top that tells you what each item is. And I feel next I should probably be working on a farm, though it is nighttime and we know what happens at night. I die usually, and I don't have any food, so I think I'm going to have to put some emergency food in the fire pit, and I'm going to start it with some peat bricks, as you can see here, and start lighting that. Now, this is emergency food. It's not the best, but it will give you cooked wild rhizomes, which then is like a vegetable, but then these are permanently gone. They don't come back. Go bye-bye. No. And there come those ripply clouds in the morning. Oh, thank goodness. Looks like I made it to 5:20 in the morning. That's pretty good, but do we have any breakfast? Yes, I was so hungry. You can see that doesn't really give you very much at all. But it does give me vegetable, So that's good. I'm getting more hit points this way. And I am cooking up a bunch of these, so I am going to continue cooking those. I think one stack of cattail roots is probably going to be sufficient. I just need to pick a place to put them for now. Alright, so I've kind of cleared out this little area here. It's a little bit raised, but I figure this will be a good spot for me to start putting down a lot of cattails, which you just need to sneak to place them, and that's pretty much it. You can place them all around everywhere, and it'll take a little bit of time to do so, and then they'll grow back. And you can harvest them for more cattails, which I'm gonna need them for so much stuff. It's ridiculous. Alright, there we go. I've got this massive field of cattails now that hopefully will grow over time and I can use for other things. And yes, it's still cooking over here. If I really needed to stay warm or something, like if it was cold, my body temperature was dropping too much, I could actually stay near these and warm up, same as I could with a fire pit. Things that you usually don't need to worry about unless it's wintertime. But for now, I'm just going to be happy with eating a little bit of something until I can get this stuff going. Next, I think I need to focus on growing some food. And yes, you can stack peat as well. I think I was just saving a little bit there so that I don't need to worry about it in the future. I do have some maple seeds. I don't know where to put these just yet, so I'm going to put them in my basket till I either need to move them or plant them, or I decide on where to put them first. Alright, so I have stripped out a whole bunch of the soil from this area, mostly medium fertility, but I also topped up some of the low fertility stuff, which is mostly just going to be building material stuff. But for now, the medium fertility is going to be very valuable for making kind of a farming area, which I might actually clear out a little bit more of this stuff here, just so that I don't have this kind of sticking out as well. I was considering just using this area. I might replace some of the sand, make it all just kind of like this big farming plot eventually, but for now I need to bring it up a little bit and use the water. So I'm going to just have this filled in here and here. Let's see, what's the best way for this to work? This water is going to maximize hydration around here. It will then be weaker 2 blocks away than it is 1 block away. So with that, if I leave an open spot there, which I can put some of this low fertility stuff down at the bottom, and then I can put more of this here, I can continue on with this process of making this little like kind of crop growing area like so. So I'll be back once I've got this all sorted out. Oh, I've made a mistake. I made a mistake. Oh no, what do I do? Well, if you have enough water sides actually accessing the spot, then it will fill in automatically. So thankfully, I think I can still make this work. It's this block. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. I might have to actually dig further. I'm making a bigger mess than I had before. Oh, that's too bad. Well, I will leave it for now. We'll just have this one area that's not going to have as much hydration. That's what the watering can is for. And I can add this water back in later on. Made a mistake. Oh well. Alright, I think this will be a good enough area to start with. I am going to need some protection to keep out critters, but for now I think I could probably make do with just a ring of some dirt and some fences, so I'll probably end up doing that. Alright, so I've got myself this ring, which isn't really going to do too much to keep animals out. They can all just walk in or walk over it, but I haven't exactly done much with it yet either. I need to get myself some fencing, and there's some early game fencing that I can make that can probably help me out. Alright, taking a bunch of the sticks, an axe, and some maple logs, I can make myself a lot of rough hewn fences. Hopefully enough that I can get around this whole thing plus a bit extra, which I think I have handled. I do think that I need to have some entrance to it, but I guess I'll do that afterwards. For now, I just want to try and get the wall up. Okay, that's not too bad. That should be pretty sufficient for giving some level of protection to this area, and not a moment too soon. I'm really running low on food. I'm going to have to go hunting or looking for berries or something soon. But for now, I think I need to make gates so that I can get in here a little bit easier. I'm also going to want to probably clear away some of this dirt here because some creatures might be able to hop in like this and get in on top of the that. Most likely it's going to be something like a wolf or a fox or whatnot, but I think it would be safer just to be sure to take those away. So adding in some logs and some sticks, I believe I can make myself 2 gates. 2 rough hewn maple gates to be exact. And if I use my hatchet, this will go a little bit quicker. Picking up this and putting it down. And sadly you can't change the orientation of the gate. It faces whatever direction it wants to face. Well, I mean, you see how this one's facing out, that one's facing in. Whatever. It is what it is. But I will put down a little bit of this here so I can get inside. A little bit easier. And back outside. Oh my gosh, there we go. Not a problem. Now I just need a hoe. Which, of course, you can nap a hoe. So, flint hoe. It's actually just this little rectangle-looking thing, but I mean, it makes sense when you look at it in the end. And then with this, I should be able to till the entirety of the land here and start making rows to plant crops on. Now, do I have enough seeds for this? No. But I do have some seeds, and I might as well get those started and all of this tilled just so that I can get everything ready. Now, with it being medium fertility soil, you can see it's got some pretty decent levels to it, and it is currently doing quite well. The moisture is 75%, which is about what it'll probably be in most cases, except that you see here it's dropped 25% because I accidentally eliminated that water. If it was low fertility soil, these percentages would be even less, and I might struggle to even get these seeds to come to make crops by the end of the season. For now, I only have 4 seeds. It's pretty pathetic, but I know that there's plenty out there, and I think seed gathering is going to be my next thing. That and hunting, because I am pretty much starving. I've eaten all of my food, and I only have a little bit to work with. So there's some onions, and there's some turnips. Yay, all this prep work just for this little bit. And it's almost nighttime as well, so this is a bit scary. I'm going to need to take measures into my own hands to ensure that I'm fed and that I hopefully survive a little bit longer. I suppose there's always this lump of fat if I really get desperate, but I can always stave off the hunger with a little bit of horsetail poultice, but it's just really annoying that I might have to wait or well, just get the ow sounds for a while. Alright, where to go to get some food? Oh hey, speaking of things, would you look at this? We had a fox pup came in, and apparently it got hit by the fire. Everything has finished cooking, including the fox pup, sadly. But maybe it's got something on it. Nope, just a little tiny pelt. Fresh for 7 days. I think I'll just leave it there for now. It may end up being useful later. For now, it's not my top priority. I'm looking for food. Oh, hey, look at this. We've got this chasm here. Or a bunch of animals. Let's just make sure I can get back down. Or back up again. Fell down. Oh, but it's being protected by some shivers down there. Maybe they won't see me and I can just get away with harvesting these little bits. Maybe there's some meat left on these. Aha! A little bit of raw red meat. I'll take that. That's going to stop me from starving to death and allow me to actually get some more hunting going. Alright, so I think I've got a plan here, because nighttime is falling, which means bad things are about to start spawning. It's going to be difficult to see things, specifically find food, because it's dark. And I'm going to have some food ready. So once again, I'm going to use the thing where I start taking damage while I sleep, and have some food waiting for me in the morning. So let's see how things go. Hey, I will gladly take that. Not too bad. And in fact, my hunger levels didn't drop much at all, if any. So I'm happy with that. I've got a little bit of food in my belly now. I've had a sleep, and it's much more visible for things out here. But before I go using any of this stuff that I just made, again, I need some more resources, namely noms. Okay, looking at these jack-o'-lanterns, it's -6 hit points just to eat those. not something I'm going to start eating. So we're skipping that one. Oh, and already I have some trouble. Now this could be good, could be bad. I've got wolves. You can actually get pelts and fat off of them, a little bit of bush meat, and I don't see a problem with getting either right now, short of the fact that if they attack me, they could easily take me out if I'm not that accurate. Good thing I've got a lot of spears on me so I can throw them, hopefully get a preliminary hit. Oh shoot, this isn't good. I only have 4 spears left, so if I miss, I'm in trouble. Let's get closer and make sure that I hit it. Oh, nope. I keep forgetting my accuracy as a clockmaker is not the best. Here's the sad thing. This little pup here is going to turn into a wolf. So I could leave it and get the leather from it later. But for now, it's just going to be a bit more challenging to try and get these guys with how far away they are. Doggone it. Alright, I hit it. Can I retreat and get my other spear? Okay. Thankfully, it's damaged enough that it's just fearful and trying to escape. Oh, it's close. Very close. It might end up dying from jumping from such a height. Or I might. Let's see if I can actually catch up to it. There it is. Got it. Okay. That was very, very fortunate that this wolf just ran away. It was not trying to get me at all. But this does mean that I might be able to get myself some materials that I was looking for. Namely, some bushmeat and some rawhide. I will take those as well as a little bit of bones. Now, I did notice in the pursuit that there were some mushrooms over here. Not sure what they might be. Oh, and there apparently is a raccoon. Not really too bothered with that. Let's see, lobster. Okay, sneak H should tell me. That's good stuff. Alright, so I'm just going to chop myself up a bunch of these lobster mushrooms for some more food to take back with me. Okay, well, I am now taking damage from being quite so hungry. So I think what I'm going to do is just stave it off with at least a berry or two in the meantime. Oh, would you look at that? While I'm out here kind of looking around, there is a ruin with some really fantastical goodies I'm already seeing. The problem is I need to be able to get down there. Oh, and I see trouble in the way of some mobs nearby, one of which I can hear is shooting at me. Oh boy, okay, that's not good. I really want that. That's an old torch holder. That will give me infinite light source in an area. Plus there's a bit of a ruin there. I just don't know where the mobs are that were trying to shoot at me. Hopefully I can put this down. So by aiming at the bottom of the ladder, I drop the ladder down. You just can't pick it up once it's down there. Gosh, where is this? Oh, is it directly below me? It might be. Let's throw that down so that I have a light source down there. Oh, there it is. So if I charge this, I might be able to... Oh. If I'm fast enough... Oh gosh, nope, nope. I'm not chasing you in there. Forget that. Nope. Instead, I might go this way and see if I can bust through this. And grab this ancient torch holder, which will definitely be giving me some benefit of a light source in the future. This is an interesting ruin. And with that, I think we'll pause and end it here for this episode. Tune in next time for the continuation of Vintage Story Unearthed for 120.